And welcome in with
Hey,
Pastors Greg and
everybody.
Michelle,
What's up?
marriagemix3.com. Thank you for joining us this beautiful Thursday evening. Isn't God good?
Oh, yes, he
God is in
is.
his heaven and all is right with the world.
Amen,
We pray
Raymond.
that all is right with you wherever you are. Thank you for coming in here. As you know, every Tuesday through Thursday between 9 and 9:30-ish Central Standard Time, we're here. We're dropping the tools to help you to get your relationships on and popping. My goodness, honey.
Yes, I'm so glad that we're here tonight. You guys are amazing, and we appreciate you being a part of our family. So please, ma'am, please, sir, come on in, invite someone, share the broadcast, and let them know that hashtag GD and me, that we are in here like swimwear. I see Sister Denise Bird Dunn is with us tonight. Hey, Pastor. Hey, lady. Hey, bless Brittany is with us. What's up, daughter? Good to see you tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. So we're going to ask that you guys come on in the room, that you would invite someone, that you would drop the information in a live broadcast chat room. Throw it in somebody's into their Facebook group, because we got to deal with some issues. We have to talk about some stuff. And so why do we come on Tuesday through Thursday between 9:30-ish Central Standard Time? Is because we want you to win when it comes to your relationships. Now, we've been talking the last couple of days, actually the last couple of weeks, not couple of weeks, the last week. This is coming up on finishing up the second week. We've been talking about narcissistic personality disorder and or narcissistic tendencies.
That's right. Dating a vampire.
Oh my God! And it evokes. It evokes a visual.
Yes.
It's like, you remember there was what was the name of that one? Something in Transylvania.
Dark Shadow.
No, honey, I wasn't born when Dark Shadows.
Oh, the castle. Okay.
I wasn't here when Dark Shadows was a thing.
Pennsylvania. Okay, that was the origin of vampire.
Yes, yes. That was the one that was in the movies and stuff.
Okay.
Only thing I know really about Dark Shadows is what I learned about it, because if for people that really don't know, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. When I lived in, where did I live? It was in Oklahoma. I used to have a business on eBay where I would sell books, and they were vintage books, first editions, and all of that. And so I always knew, when you would go to a place and you saw someone with some Dark Shadow books, you know what? Scoop them babies up. That's what I knew about Dark Shadow.
Wow,
they had an amazing resale value. Yes, very collectible, because apparently that era when people used to read that particular book and the show came on, I guess after the books were put out. Yes, and so people started scooping this stuff up, and so I go on and put it on eBay. Hello, and that's how I was making some little extra change. Hey, I wasn't doing nothing strange. How about that?
That's awesome. Hey, this
Hey,
so
here we go.
So we were joking, we were laughing when we all came in, and
Yep.
I know that inquiring minds always want to know what you're laughing about. We were laughing because I was thinking, okay, that may not be a hickey. You may be dating a vampire.
Oh my
You
God!
know,
Because you start to see stuff on a person,
Yeah.
and it's not just physically on them, but you notice that something is different
Yeah.
about them. You notice that they're not the same. Like, they're always tired, they're always listless, they're always
Wow.
questioning, they're always asking, what you think about certain things, because they're wanting to try to make sure that they're not crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes a person with narcissistic tendencies has a way of making you feel like you are cuckoo.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's and if you go back to vampires again, that was one of their issues. Once they came in your house, then they kind of had full control. Once you invited them in, then they had full control to go and come and will. In fact, if they wanted to move their coffin into your house, they would do that. You were subject to their spell.
Yeah.
And if they needed blood, then you were still available. In fact, if they bit you and you died, then you would come back as a vet.
Yeah,
and I know
right.
that we know that was all, yes, it was all
That's smoke and
make-believe,
mirrors, but at the same time, it does, because what a vampire does is suck the blood out of you, which is, the Bible says that the blood is the life. What you all remember when Abel was killed by his brother Cain, that the Bible says it like this, that God asked him, why do I hear your brother's blood calling from the ground, right? Because the life is in the blood. And that's why they wouldn't allow the sacrifices to, they needed them to be drained out of the blood. You didn't just ingest blood, because what you have essentially done is you have now ingested life. Okay. And so this is why we have to be super careful, even with a narcissistic person, because what they do is they suck your soul almost out of your body.
This is so fascinating, because one of the things of modern hunters, not all of them, but there's some hunters who will go and hunt an animal. The first thing they will do, a small animal, is that they will eat the heart.
Yes.
Eat the beating heart, and often eat it raw. Because, and there used to be some idea from some tribes and some groups that if I eat this animal, then I obtain its strength, particularly from its blood. There are some tribes, rural tribes even today, where they will not fully kill a cow. They will put a hole in its jugular, drain some of this blood, drink it.
I remember.
As weird as it sounds,
that is what they do.
Okay, but anyway, we didn't mean to trip you all out with all of that. While others are coming in, invite someone.
Yes, please.
And that's what we've been talking about: sucking the life
out of you. Yes, definitely. And Miss Groovy One is in the building. How are you, lady? Thank you for joining, and thank you for sharing. You're amazing. Please make sure that those that are in the love seat, if you're a part of the love seat, there is an announcement at the top. We're going to start doing, it's just going to be a 5-day deal, but we need to know what's a good time for you all, so that we can kind of go on into it, because we want to do some teaching, but we also want to come together for some corporate prayer. And so it's going to be probably like a 3 or 5 day type of a thing going on. And there's going to be some worksheets, things of that nature. So we want you, ma'am and sir, that if that's something that you want to be a part of, realize that there is going to be a donation of at least $10 so that you can be a part of it. But even though it is announced in the love seat, that's not where it will probably take place. Okay. So we want you to come on in and be a part of that. So if you all are in here tonight and you were with us last night, let us know. If you look, wait a minute, Ms. Groovy One says sucking the life out of you, literally. Yes, amen. And Ms. Groovy One put the love seat. If you're not a part of the love seat, you are missing all the way out. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you need to come on in, okay? We're there. We're having shenanigans. We're praying in there every Tuesday at noon. You have a request. We're making sure that we take them before the Lord. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on off in the love seat, and so you want to be a part of that so that we can connect on a little bit more of a deeper level. So please, ma'am, please, sir, join us in the love seat and let us go ahead and get started tonight. If you're in here, let me see a number. What is it, number 6? Because we went 1 through 5 last night.
Yes.
We talked about dating a vampire, and tonight we want to talk about dating a soul sucker. It's the same thing, but we just wanted to mix it up so you all would know where we were, okay? Thank you so much, Kimmy, for reminding the people that they can go to marriagemakesthenumber3.com, and over there you will be able to get you one of those good old free items that's available for you, or you may need a 15-minute encounter session, which is something that we do. We sew that into your life absolutely for free. So if you're dealing with something in your relationship, please, ma'am, please, sir, find us at Marriage Makes the Number 3, or you can go to the link bit.ly/MM3 LINKS. Amen. Thank you so much, Miss Denise, for putting that there in the chat.
Look, I'll take a moment very quickly to remind you that tomorrow night we are going to be playing the game.
Yes.
We're going to be in IG.
Yeah.
And so you need to know that now. We're going to be in IG. If you don't have IG,
yes,
go ahead and get you an account.
Please.
Get ready tomorrow night to join us as we play the game.
Amen.
We want you to be there.
You know what it made me think of when you said it? It's time to play the game. You know, WWE.
Yeah.
I haven't seen WWE in a minute. I probably need to get back to that. All right. So thank you for the number 6s there in the chat. Let us move on. We started last night talking about dating a vampire. And tonight we are dating a soul sucker. It is one in the same thing. But we need to find out how is it that we're able to deal with a person in our lives. We're with them, we're married, we're in love, they're my boyfriend, they're my girlfriend, and I don't really want to leave them because they're good to me. But I do notice that there are some issues, and I want to know, how do I deal with them until the point, or if it ever comes, where I decide this isn't for me anymore. So tonight, as we're going in, we made sure that on the number 5 was that we needed to learn how to be clear when it comes to our boundaries. Okay, we're just going to go to that one. The rest of it is still up. It's online. If you would like to, you can go to YouTube or to Periscope, and you will be able to find out what numbers 1 through 5 is. Okay, so tonight we're on number 6, and number 6 is you need to learn how to stand your ground. When you're dealing with someone that has narcissistic tendencies, you need to learn how to stand your ground. And it reminds me, and I worded it like that because I know that I think, was it in Texas, or Florida, it was someplace where it was Florida, where we ended up getting the law that said that you can stand your ground. If you're in your home, you're on your property, and someone comes and tries to break in, if you withstand them and they end up dying as a result of what happened, then you will not be prosecuted, depending on the circumstances. But really, it's a stand your ground. This is my home. This is my sanctuary. This is my fort. And I'm not going to allow just any and everybody to come in. And so if you trespass, you need to know that there will be some consequences. Okay, you might meet Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson. We don't know. However,
some hot Wesson.
Rub it down with some hot oil, baby. Right. Some hot grease. You never know. And this is the thing. When we're talking about dealing with a narcissistic person, when I say to stand your ground, it means that the person may be trying to invade your space. They're trying to invade your boundaries, and you have to learn how to stand your ground.
I want to recall that one of the effects of dealing with a narcissistic person, or a person who has those tendencies, is that it upsets your world. It's like a whirlwind. It's like a hurricane.
Yes.
And they're going to try to get you off your game. They're going to try to get you where you cannot talk, where you cannot communicate effectively with them. Okay, so the whole effect is going to be to get you, again, to where you are unsure of yourself. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You're wishy-washy on what you believe. And so you have to be able to,
stand your ground.
As you set those boundaries, now you got to stick by it.
That's the truth. And that's a part of it there too. Thank you, Miss Groovy One. Thank you, darling. Thank you. So one of the things that I said, and I did a little couple of subtitle, is that you need to learn how to be firm. Okay. You need to learn how to be direct. Okay. Because some folks, if you're not firm, if you're not direct, they already looking for a wiggle room anyway. And so any amount that you release to them, they're going to take it and then encroach upon any other that's available.
You cannot make a suggestion.
Come on, say that.
I suggest that you do this. Well, if I were you, You can't give them a for
No.
instance. You have to be clear. These are the limits. If you do this again,
this is what's going to take place.
Awesome.
Be firm with it, because if you say it and you say it like you're not sure yourself, then they're going to be like, okay,
you gotta have that.
I don't mean that. I'm going to see if it's really the truth. Okay. Next thing I said for us, that we should not fall for the game. Okay. We already know that we have to see them as they are, because we already gone through number one. You got to see this person for who they really are, and that some of the things that we might be requesting of them, that they are not emotionally capable of doing. Okay. And so you know who they are. So don't fall for their game.
Now, here's the thing, is that you may think because a person is college educated or they've come through life X amount of years, that they're prepared to deal with things. And it's not a matter of preparation. It's a matter of being willing. And they're not willing.
Right.
They're unwilling to do what it needs to do to preserve your space.
That part.
And so you have to.
Yes, you have to not play their game. It's a cat and mouse thing. Let me see how far I can play with it before it actually dies. And the problem is that when we don't know what we're dealing with, and that's why we decided that this was something that you all need to know about, is because so many of us have dealt with someone that was narcissistic or had a actual diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder, and we are over here just we're totally ignorant that this was even a thing. We're just sitting up there like, well, why would they treat me that way? Why would they act this way? Not realizing that this is who they were dealing with. They did not know the signs. They did not know the proclivities. They did not know that this was even something that should be on their radar. And so now that they have gone through the whirlwind, now that you have gone through the fire and the flood and the water and the rain, now you understand, but you still haven't put a label on it. And for some of us, once you get the label, it's like, that's exactly, I mean, you'll find yourself, and I believe that even as we've been dealing with this the last couple of days, that there were people coming in saying, I know exactly wait a minute. It was like, this is my life. This is who I was in a relationship with. And then the light comes on like, oh my God, this is what, yes. How did you know all of this, honey? Because this is the MO. This is the modus operandi of a person that is narcissistic. All the way across the board. Okay. She said, Miss Groovin, what's she said, look into my eyes. It's all, and you're absolutely right. It reminds me of, there was a story that I remember from growing up called Ricky Tikki Tavi. And there was a snake. Yes, and the snake would look at people, and when it looked at them, it kind of mesmerized them. Yes, and it wanted you to look in its eyes, because a little bit of you begin to fear, and you start to get paralyzed, and that's what they want, so that they can either run away or come at you. And so with a narcissist, when she said, look into my eyes, I was like, oh Lord, you have fallen under the spell of a narcissistic individual.
It's very interesting to say that, and I don't know if she knew the reference or is old enough to know about Dark Shadows and Barnabas College, but that was one of his prominent features. He had these huge eyes, and he would always have the person to look into his eyes.
Oh my goodness.
His conquest, to look into his eyes.
Okay.
And huge
wow.
eyes.
It is what it is.
So
now, look, go ahead and put the number 7s there in the chat so we can move on tonight. Next thing I said was, as we're standing our grounds, being firm and direct, not falling for the game, is that we have to ask for what we want. We're telling you how to deal with them now. Ask for what you want. Do not beat around the bush. Do not give any hints, suggestions. Don't think that they're going to get it. It's not going to come by ESP. It's not going to come because they know you so well and they should know that this is what I want. In a regular Mrs. Barclay relationship, we have a tendency to think that the person that we love knows what we're thinking. Okay, and that they should respond to what we're thinking. And so if that doesn't work with two people that are not personality disordered, if it doesn't work with two people that do love each other and both of them are not predator and prey, but they come together as equals in a relationship, can you just imagine what it's like to say, oh, they should know what I'm talking about with a narcissistic individual? That's a problem. And so we cannot continue to walk around and put our heads in the sand expecting something that is not capable, that the person is incapable of doing or giving to us. Okay. So number 7, she said they are not mind readers. Exactly correct. Ask for what you want. And sometimes you may have to do, you have to tell them exactly what you're going to do. If this happens, this is going to be the consequence, and you have to follow through. Okay? Because as soon as you give them a little wiggle room, they're going to start the negotiation process. Okay? Have you ever been with a child and you say you're grounded for the month? They're like, oh man, well, can you just make it a week? You see what I'm saying? Well, you can only have 3 cookies. Well, can I just get one more? What did I tell you? Okay. You trying to wiggle out of this when I told you what it was like, and if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. Put your finger in that cookie jar. Oh Lord, I just channeled.
You went back for it, baby.
Yeah, I got 4 children, and every one of them is like they would try it, but that's what they're supposed to do because they're growing. That's a part of their development. But when you're talking about a grown up in a relationship with you, you should not have to go into negotiation talks with a person because this is not a hostage situation. They would like for it to be, and you are the one that's being the hostage. Yeah. So do not negotiate with a terrorist, okay? And we understand you love them, and there's a soft spot in your heart somewhere for them. But when you catch it, when you see what they're really doing, I need you to say, okay, hold on, wait a minute. You're being a terrorist, right? You are acting like a terrorist right now, and I don't negotiate with you. This is what it is. If you don't like that, there's the door. If you borrow my keys, if you take my keys again and you leave from my home and you neglect to come back that night, you will not for 1 month get my keys, okay? And then you have to make sure that your keys are not got so that they don't come back and try to get you. Okay? Because they're going to try it. They're going to push it. They're going to do whatever it is to see if the boundary is breachable. That was good. If the boundary is breachable. Hello. Hey, Miss Denise, she said nonverbal come on. Yes, sometimes we have those. And, in the regular relationship, and that's where even in normal, non-dysfunctional relationships that we have an issue. They say that men are from Mars because of their thinking and women are from Venus. But here's the thing. We have to learn how to become bilingual so that we can connect and not miss one another. Ms. Groovy One says, don't make any idle threats. That's exactly correct. Hey, Miss Shirley, thank you for joining us tonight. Listen, guys, come on in here and invite someone, share the broadcast. We're talking tonight if you're dating a soul sucker. You out here in these dating and relationship streets and you find yourself together with a person that is narcissistic in their tendencies, then how am I going to deal with them? That's what we're talking about tonight. And so we're going to ask that you invite the people because folks need to know about these things. We do this Tuesday through Thursday between 9 and 9:30-ish Central Standard Time. And we're doing this because we have gone through some things. We have seen some stuff. We have counseled with some people. And when you go through all of that, you know that there is something deeper. The enemy of our souls does not want our relationships down here to be any good. He wants it to be topsy-turvy. He wants there to be arguments. He wants this one to leave, that one to go, all of that. And so how do we work around him? We learn better so that we can do better. Amen. She said, no, Miss Groovy one says, if you take my keys without my permission, you go to jail.
That's consequence.
Yes. And listen, but don't, okay, and let me say this. Do not say anything that you are not willing to follow through with. Okay? Because once you say that, it's like your kids when you tell them you're going to do something and then, and if you don't do it, they know the next time that they can go a little further. If you take my keys one more time, I am going to call the police and tell them that my vehicle has been stolen. And they leave that house and you don't call the police and you don't file a report, guess what? Oh, they know that you don't mean that because you're under my spell. You can look into my eyes, okay? And so please, ma'am, please, sir, follow through. Ms. Denise said, did she say terrorist? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, amen. That's what soul suckers do.
Relationship terrorists.
Okay, and so we're not here for none of that. So here is number 7. Okay, number 7, do not accept all of the blame. All right, nothing is ever 100% one person's fault. Let's keep it funky. Some of us think that the other person has done all of these terrible things. They've done all these awful things, okay? And they may have. We're not discounting that. However, in every relationship, there is going to be a level of quote unquote fault in the one and the other person. It might be 98% on the other person and 2% on you. But there is something different that could have been done so that you wouldn't be where you are. Okay? So don't accept all of the blame, which is something that a narcissist will do. They will project everything that was wrong on you. They may have been the one that has committed adultery and fornication and all of that. But you know what they're going to tell people? Well, she went out on me. She's the one that was doing this and that and the other. Well, why is it that we don't have any money? Why are we bankrupt? Because my wife kept spending up all the money. When in fact, they were the ones doing all the dirty. Okay? She says, Denise Verdun says 99.99. Always his fault. Yes. And see, even with that, there's still that half a percentage point that you had involved, whether it was, whether it's you should have not allowed that person to speak to you in a certain type of way, abuse you, or whatever, or if you should have been the one that said, you know what, this stops here and it stops now. That might be the part that's your fault. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? But never allow this person in your life that you love. Okay, and let me keep it funky here too, because sometimes this person is not a love interest. Did she say that? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you didn't marry it. Sometimes you gave birth to it. Can I say that again?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes you didn't marry it. Sometimes you gave birth to it. And so you cannot take all the blame for anything that goes on when it comes to a person that is narcissistic, because the more you take on, the more you eat, because you know how we do. Yeah. I'm just going to leave it alone. I ain't going to say nothing. And you start eating all this stuff. You eat their mess for breakfast. You eat their mess for lunch. You eat their mess for dinner. You wake up the next morning and you eat brunch out of their mess. Do you know what happens to you? You become full.
I miss.
Oh, okay.
full of mess, you become a mess. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're on point. You're on point.
Okay.
And you make another really good point that I think is something that we need to visit for a moment. And that is whenever something happens, there is a slight opportunity, there's a chance for preempting that thing. There's an opportunity that can be stopped. Over the past month, several months, we've been in the midst of this COVID, and then it went from COVID to the racial tension, from murders, killing of innocent citizens. But there was some point in all of that where it could have been stopped. It might have been a coworker. It might have been even the person. Sometimes if we listen to our gut, if we listen to our heart, when the person cries out and says, look, I'm having trouble breathing, that hurts.
Yes.
That should be an indicator to a normal person. But in the mind of a narcissist, or narcissistic person, one who has these tendencies, they feel that empowered.
Yes.
I'm in control now.
Yes. Well,
because I'm inflicting pain.
Yes.
So I'm in control.
Yes. It's a God complex.
Yes.
And so, and when we say grandiosity,
exactly,
they feel like they are bigger than life.
I'm king of the world. Somebody knock me off. I dare you to knock it off. Are y'all getting this?
Oh my God, I am dying.
Are you all getting this? This is stuff. This is real.
It really is. And the thing is that we get hurt by it. And so this is why we have to learn how to deal with it, because sometimes you can't get away from it. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a parent. What? Yes, there are narcissistic mamas and narcissistic daddies running around here. You think they don't procreate? Amen. And I'm not saying that physically that you just pass it on, but there are some markers that you end up dealing with, and they're still trying to figure out, is it something that comes about by nature or by nurture? And there is a difference, but we don't know as far as the psychological, scientific way. Does it come by you being born like that, with that type of a personality, or is it some things that happen in your life? Because there is research on both sides of that can say either one or the other or both can contribute to a person becoming narcissistic.
I was listening in public radio today, and they were talking about children who have autism. And they were talking about this study that is ongoing in instruction, early diagnosis of a problem, and how one child went from the mother reading it a bedtime story at night to the child now reading the mother bedtime stories and being able to fully operate, communicate with others and interact in a normal school environment because of early detection and dealing with it. So that we know that these things can be dealt with.
That's right.
And I personally think that sometimes there are early indicators. A parent may find that their child is maybe a little needier than most. It has to be the center of attention.
Right.
Now we know that there's some people who, even great leaders, who want to be the center of attention.
Right.
They have that drum major, I want to be first instinct. But how far? When does that go too far?
Yeah.
When it becomes at the expense of other children.
Yes.
When it begins to have an influence on the entire family.
Amen. Amen.
So we have to monitor those things, even though our child was born a certain way. The answer is getting around to be born again.
Yeah, that part. How about that? How about that? All right. Ms. Groovy One says, understand you played a part, not all, but you do have a part to play. Yes, every single relationship, there are two people in it. It can never be 100% one or the other person's fault. I just don't believe that.
Let me drop this. Racism. None of us in here created the environment. We didn't create what's happened.
Mhm.
Maybe there were times when we could have said something and didn't. Maybe, we could have been more vocal. We didn't cause it. A lot of my friends who are on the front line, who are realizing that now that I need to be saying something, they didn't cause it.
Exactly.
But the bottom line is that we have a responsibility for fixing it.
Amen.
Okay? And if we don't get an interest in fixing it, then the next generation will be
worse.
this.
Exactly. Let's see. Shirley Baker says, I would admit my wrong. Should I ever do it?
Now that one is just so telling.
Yep, that pretty much. Yep. And Ms. Denise says, how do you give birth to a narcissist? We were talking about this. We don't know if it's by nature or by nurture. We're not sure. The research is it's up in the air really about how this comes about. But there are markers that as you're looking at your children or looking at a parent, you'll see all these same type of markers. And so that's what alerts you to the fact. You have okay, let me say it like this. 4 children. Okay, not mine specifically, but imagine there's 4 children in the house. Okay, and I heard this story when I went to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and sat with a pastor there. And he has 3 siblings. Okay, now he and 2 of the other siblings are like, oh, our parents were great. Everything was wonderful. We had some issues, but we did what we needed to do. Blah 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 blah. We all get along, except for this particular sibling. And when you hear this sibling speak, you wouldn't even know that we were brought up in the same family because there's that one child that sees everything totally different than the way that it is. You're doing something as a family, making cookies or what have you. This child is going to isolate itself away, and you're like, what's wrong with you? Oh, well, nobody wanted to be around me. And what are you talking about? We're all in the kitchen. Come in the kitchen and sit down and let's bake cookies. Well, no, because that child wasn't being fawned over. Now that became the problem. They are not the center of attention. And so you can kind of gauge if you do video recording of your children as they're little and growing up, and there's one that always got its head, and you know which one that is. They always who's taking a picture? And they're always in the picture. They're always in the frame. And sometimes you have to tell this particular child, could you sit over here? I'm trying to take a picture of this one. Okay. There are different things that you begin to see things. You begin to think to yourself, something, I don't know what it is, but something ain't right. And you remember, you're tired. You are still trying to make a living and all of those things. And so sometimes we're not seeing all that we should or could, I shouldn't say should, that we could see because we're still trying to live and go along with our everyday life.
And what we should be doing in a case like that, we need to be making sure that we're contacting the teachers. We have a good relationship with the teachers.
Yes.
We want to see how they're acting in classroom. Look at the class photos. Are they trying to be the center of attention? Are they being denied attention? Because sometimes a person will act out because they're not getting enough.
Right.
But in this case, we know that people act out when they're getting plenty of attention. It's just that they want it all. And that's not reasonable because the world isn't going to give you
that the world revolves around who they are.
And that's a narcissistic trait.
Amen. Hey, Stephanie. Hi, my humble obsession. Thank you guys for joining. So, guys, let me see those number 8s there in the chat as we read some of your comments. Y'all, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I'm Pastor Michelle, this is Pastor G. We are talking about you're dating a soul sucker and how do I deal with this? We're talking about this tonight as we did last night. We're going to try and see if we can't finish this up. She said they full of ice cream. Yes, ma'am. Chocolate ice cream at that. Ms. Green one says, if someone says I can't breathe, that means they are in distress and there is no excuse to continue. That's exactly correct. Yes, ma'am. Denise Verdon says, what is the emotional root of a narcissistic person? I believe that it comes out of some sort of root of bitterness. I think that it has something to do with rejection at some point or another. And I don't know specifically.
Or a feeling of rejection.
Yes.
Whether that's
it's true
realistic
or not. Right.
So there are some what is it? Some beliefs that are not really grounded.
Yes.
In fact.
Yes, some deception type of thing. And so it's just really it's really hard to deal with it sometimes, because it's almost like this person lives in an alternate universe.
That's exactly right.
You know, where everybody bows down to them, where everybody comes and they bring them offerings. Oh, thou great person in my life, I loveth thou so as much.
King of the world.
Right? And they have no problem taking from you. And I know little children, they have a hard time distinguishing yours and mine. They do. They don't understand that boundary. And they learn that as they grow. When my children were little, what we did, especially at Christmas and birthday, Christmas time, whatever present that you received and you opened, that was your present for the week. Nobody else can play with it unless you say it's okay for you to, and you have to be asked. It's not a, and I really kind of discourage them from asking each other. Okay. I want you to have a sense of this belongs to me and that belongs to you. For birthdays, you had your gift for the whole day. Because by the end of the day, y'all want to play together. And so your gift was only your gift. You didn't have to play with anybody. But the way that I did it was I said it that way. They don't know all this. But what I did was I would give them toys that it was necessary for them to have other people be involved to play the game. Okay, so you may not want anybody to play with you. You may want to hold it and keep it to yourself. Yes, that you're going to eventually. So just go ahead and go with it, teaching them how to be sharers, because we're not normally sharers. Okay, so that part. And so when we're talking about the root of this thing, sometimes they have gone through when they talk about through nature, it's like there's something that happened that has traumatized them so much that they have crawled inside, and now their emotional place has almost died. I guess I would say it like that. And it's a very sad place. However, this is why other people end up in counseling, is because this person refuses to go. Okay? Refuses. Ain't nothing wrong with me. That must be y'all. Y'all got some issues. I'm good. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the things that we have to be careful of. Chandra, hey, darling, how are you? Thank you for joining. She says nature and nurture, and it can be a combination of both. We don't know. Number 8 in the chat, she says spoiling them. Remember, everyone is different and treat them as such. They all have different personalities. Yes. And this is, oh Lord, there's so much. Yeah. When we teach personality, the 4 different personality traits, when we did dating 101, all of those are things that coming up that nobody ever told us. True. And so we're coming together with people, and they are a certain type of way, and then after we get with them, because we've attracted the quote unquote opposite of us, and now they're living their life the way they've always lived it. Now I'm sitting up here talking about, well, why don't you want to go out? Well, when you met me, I wasn't going out. So why now all of a sudden you just want me to be the party animal? That's not who I was. That's not who I was when we met. This is why dopamine comes into play. Because if we ever decided that the person that I want to be with isn't like me, then we're never going to get together. Nobody, they fart and they burn and they scratch and they, why would I want to? Dopamine, baby, dopamine is a beautiful thing. God knew what he was doing. It's just that we have yet to understand the processes of the human being and the mind and the will and the emotions. And when we learn those things, that's how we come to the place where we can move in the place called victory. All right. Number eight, number eight, number eight. Chanda says entitlement. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely true. They do have a high sense of entitlement. Yep. Barbara, hey, Sister Barbara. Hello, Pastor. Just noticed your post. How are you today? We're doing well. Thank you so much for asking and for coming in. Kim says it depends. Depends. They have mean-spirited, bitter, competitive. Yeah, they can be like they cat and mouse games, mind games. They get satisfaction through hurting people or seeing people in distress. I think she's talking about when you said something about, why a person would know that someone was dying and then allow them to just kind of expire. And that's that God complex. That's that I'm Mr. Policeman, and you can't tell me this or that or the other. Because I'm the pastor.
And what's important is that kind of God complex comes with a hardcore narcissistic personality type. So we have to.
You got to get some balance.
It's important for us to know these things.
Yes.
It's really critical. You mentioned emotion, and what we know is that they are emotional vampires because they lack the capacity to be empathetic or to show sympathy, to really, and they rely on having someone else in their lives who know how to do it in order for them to be able to maneuver. And again, they're charming. Yeah. As long as they know what to do.
Right. Yes, because they learn from us. And so this is why I said that when we're talking about how to deal with them, you have to look and see how you react first and see what they do. And a lot of times you don't realize this is happening. And so when I said that, it's like, okay, the next time you're dealing with that narcissistic person, go ahead and take a mental note that I started immediately firing off at the mouth. And you see a little curl, a little smile, like, ha, 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 I got you, come into my web. Because they know that no matter what you do, right? Because they know that no matter what they do, no matter what you say or do, that they already have an agenda. And they are going to come out with whatever they need to come out with just so that they can have their way.
Feet are off the ground, you are unbalanced.
Yes.
That's why you have to stand
your ground. That's right.
And
okay, so number 8 is this, and number 8, we just want you to refresh and refocus.
Don't accept all the blame. Number 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't accept it all. No, it can't possibly be all one somebody's fault. Okay. She says Periscope froze.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm still here. Drop out and drop back in. Okay. Here's number 8. You have to refresh and refocus. Okay. You have to, when we say refresh, you've got to get out. Okay. Because if you are underneath the spell of this person, what happens is you begin to lose more and more of yourself. Yes. So you have to get some outside interest so that you can deal with this when you do have to deal with it.
And remember, if you're in a relationship with one, their end game is to keep you in that one place where they know where you are,
right?
Where you're always accessible. So you're on speed dial. You're always available to them.
Yes.
They want to know where you are. And so you have to break that pattern.
Yeah, that's right.
Get out, refresh.
Get some interest. Did you, and listen, did you like to cook? Did you used to like to ride a bicycle? Or were you on a bowling team, a tennis team? Were you on a debate team? Was there something that you did or desired to do when you got together with this person? You have to begin to develop some outside interest. It is for your own sanity. Okay, trust us on this one. You have to be able to get outside of your head. Okay, because we have a tendency to replay everything over and over and over again, and then we start we start putting stuff, trouble on down on layaway. We put trouble on layaway. We already know what we want to tell them. And so I know that if I tell them this, then they're going to say this. And so when they say that, then I'm going to say this. And the problem that happens with this is that by the time you sit down and have the conversation with them, everything that you thought, they will flip the script on you. And you're still looking like, okay, and we're going to talk some more about this next week. We're going to break some definitions down to you, because when we say, when I say word salad, okay, that means something. When you ask a question, a direct question, they're going to give you everything else but the correct answer or the truth. Okay?
Wow.
They're going to say this, say that, say the other thing. And so by the time it's all over with, you're so exhausted and you still haven't received the truth. And you're kind of like, what did I even go to talk to them about? Because now you've been projected on, right? What are you talking about? I don't know where those came from. You probably left those in there. I don't know why you always trying to blame me for stuff when do you remember that time when you tried to say that I did so and so? Hello. The word salad is so many words. It's just words and words and words and words and words. And by the time you're done, you're like, oh my God, I don't even want to talk anymore. And that's what they want.
You're caught up in the world.
In the circle. That's what they want, so that they don't have to be honest, that they don't have to bare their soul to you about anything, because there's nothing really there. Sometimes we make it deeper than it really is because of our emotions, because we are empathetic, that we know how to sympathize with someone else. Let's see. Ms. Groovy says, you are the puppet. And they are the puppet master. Yes, ma'am. Denise says, yep, so true. Kim, yes, they're amen each other. Come on. Shonda said, initially they can be funny. You might find yourself laughing. So unbelievable. Yes, charming. And if they see that their humor makes you laugh, oh, they know that this is a weapon that they're going to put inside of their arsenal, because they might have to pull it back out again. And this is what they do. I keep telling y'all, you are the prey and they are the predator. And so they are studying you. You think you checking them out? Oh, they might be cute, but they might also be a serial killer. Okay, and I don't mean that just physically. And listen, some of them are. Okay, some of them are,
and can justify it so clearly in their minds.
I didn't do anything. When you have a former police officer that can get inside of a vehicle and follow someone that they did not do anything in particular other than breathe, and you feel justified somehow in shooting and killing them, and you know what the law says, then there's something messed up in here. Okay, that God complex. They can be vindictive. They start out funny and charming. The next thing you know, they're being vindictive. The next thing you know, they're calling. We'll get to that.
Wow.
Amen.
And we've been seeing other examples of that.
Yes.
You know,
and justify the things that they do that was wrong.
That's right.
They were over there looking into a place that was being renovated. I only look at places that's being renovated. I'm like, what are they doing off in there?
You got all this junk in your yard.
In your yard.
That's against the law.
What, excuse me?
God complex.
Well, are you with the city?
You the World City Police?
Are you on a committee? What?
I'm your neighbor. Where do
Where do you live? Not here.
You know.
So I've never seen you before. Is what I'm saying. And they feel justified in doing some of the things that they do, even to your hurt. And so those are the things that you have to look for. Sister Barbara says, definitely have to watch your viewing again. I was just talking to someone about your topic, psychopaths and etc. Yes, ma'am. She said, especially with online dating sites. Yes, you do. And there are ways that you can go on the dating sites and kind of do some. There's ways to get around.
willing to put in that
And
work.
yes.
If you're going to use this as a resource,
yes,
you have to be willing to put in the work.
right.
And the one thing that the Dating Destiny Kit, Dating 101, what we try to do is to help prepare you for that. If you're going to use social media, 29% of new relationships
start online.
That's right.
Okay.
And likely to become even more so,
yes,
especially with
all this going on. Mm-hmm. Exactly correct. Miss Groovy One says charming, funny, articulate, fine, okay, and crazy as a bit. Crazy as a Betsy Bug. You are absolutely correct. Barbara Jackson says all social media networks. Yes, ma'am. And lie about the reason and play the victim. Yes, that they absolutely do that. Denise Verdon says, so what do you do when you're married to one of these people? That's what we're teaching here. Last night and tonight. This is what we're teaching. How do I deal with this? Because you have to know that for yourself, that you have to keep your own sanity. And so we said refresh and refocus. Number one, get some outside interest.
And one of the ways that we do that is through reaching out through counsel, getting ourselves in things that are going to be beneficial to us in the long run.
Let's see. Okay, hold on. She says, now what if he said that's my house and I was checking on the progress of renovation? They still, exactly, but they're justified. You didn't have no business in this neighborhood, even though that was none of your business. You see what I'm saying? And they're getting the things that they need to be in, they don't be in. But the stuff that they don't have no business in, they all in there. Okay? It makes a difference. You have to remember that this person is emotionally draining and that one of our colleagues said something to me years ago when I first started pastoring in Oklahoma. He said to me that religion will kill you before you kill it. Okay? Religion will kill you before you kill it. What did he mean? There's an institution called religion. It's a spirit. And if you thought that you by yourself that have been dealing with the spirit has been in the world since the inception, and you think that you just gonna come along and preach a sermon and slap some oil and that spirit is going to release everybody, well, you're sadly mistaken. This is why we still have people in 2020 believing that some people are inferior to them than other people. This is why we still have men that believe that their wives are supposed to submit to them regardless of what they do or what they say or where they go, or you understand how much money they don't care. That is still there. A narcissistic person is emotionally draining, and that thing is going to kill you before you can kill it. Okay, so I need you to understand that there may not be anything specifically you can do for that person, but the things that you do around that person, okay, those are the things that you have control of. Okay, so many times we want someone else to change, but a person won't change until they get that SEE, that significant emotional event that will show them, like, oh my God, that is me. That's how I operate, and realize it and then say, I want to do something different. Let's see. Now, what if he said that's okay? I already read that. She said exactly my point. Amen. Instagram, we're going to lose you guys in here in a minute, but we're almost through. Denise says sometimes you wonder if they really know what they are doing. Yes, I believe that they do because it's calculated. I believe that they do. I feel like at a certain point or another, it's whatever is convenient is how they're going to react and respond. I really believe that. The ones that I've seen, the interviews where they actually acknowledge that I have this tendency that I know for me, I can't get into certain situations because I know that I'm always going to look at it to what do I get out of this? And how do I get that person to give me what I want? And so some of them will pull back.
Enough to see
right, but they've had that seat. that significant emotional event. All right. So here is, they're emotionally draining. So you have to um, realize that, recognize that, and not respond to it, and not allow yourself to be emotionally drained from this person. Remember, you have a life, you have a job, you have children, you have family, that there are other people outside of this one that I'm married to or that I love, that I have to do other things in order to keep myself sane. Okay? You've got to expand your circle. Okay, because if you spend all your time with this narcissistic person, and I know it's hard when you're married, you're supposed to spend time. That's what we're supposed to do. But you have to specifically and deliberately say, you know, this is great. I love you, but I'm going to work.
I need to maintain
Yeah.
myself.
Yes.
I need to do those things that are necessary to keep myself looking
Yeah.
good, feeling
good.
And you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. You have to do it. Okay. Here's number 9. And so we can get on out of here. We don't got much more to go. So we want to finish it. This is our last night. So thank you all that have stood the test of time with us tonight. Came in just a few minutes late and we're still here, but we want you to have this. Number 9, you have to recognize the need. Sometimes for a doctor. And you also have to recognize a need that you may need a counselor. Okay?
I unleashed the pressure cooker on that one.
You did? I'm drained of Black people being angry. Good. We're tired of being angry, some of us. Okay? Sometimes when you're dealing with a person that is narcissistic, the issue that comes is that you start to become anxious and you start to become depressed. Okay? Because for the most part, a lot of people that have a narcissistic person in their life, they don't know what they're really dealing with. And so they have no strategy, they have no thought process, they really don't get it. And so they're doing everything, and you will find that you are doing all the work all the time. So sometimes you may need to go and see your family physician. Let them know, listen, I'm dealing with a lot of pressure. Sometimes your blood pressure will go up and down. Your sleep patterns will be jacked up, and you may need a little something from your doctor, a prescription, something over the counter, something that is going to help to take the edge off of you. And sometimes you may need to just go to see a counselor, someone that is able to sit down with you to help you to process some of the issues that you've got going on in your life. And they will help you, because sometimes, y'all, I don't know how many ladies, especially that I've mentored, that they really think certain things. And I'm sitting up here like, what? Why would you think that? Who said this to you? And it's some things that we have heard as we were growing up, and it become ingrained. And when we teach to interpreting the scripture, we tell you that you have to look at it with brand new eyes. You cannot look at it with what you've been taught or told in passing. You have to sit down, open the scripture. You have to find a concordance. You have to find the Greek and the Hebrew and really see what's really going on, because things can be taken out of context and we grow up thinking that that's the way that it is. Okay, so we have to be very critical when it comes to the things that we have heard and learned as we were growing up. Yes. Okay. Sister Denise says, seems like divorce would be saner, if that's a word. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. For some people, it is. But you know what? Some people, because they love their spouses, they have children together, they may have built an empire, they've built a business together, and they understand now what they're dealing with. And so I still love this person. It's just like if you have a child or a parent that is narcissistic, some people are able to deal with them. They're able to put the boundaries in place. They're able to see them for who they are. They're able to look at them and realize that, I can't spend all my time with you because you crazy a little bit, and you're gonna try to make me. I'm not here for that. See what I'm saying? And so, if this person is someone you love, this person is someone you adore, you just know that they are those that have these tendencies. Then you have to act accordingly if you want to stay in the relationship. If you want to be married, you can't be married and be right all the time. Okay. Sometimes we have to give some allowances because, like we said, we don't know if some of it is nature or nurture or a combination of the two. Sometimes there's some deep-rooted childhood traumas that we have dealt with that has caused us to back up off of some things and to respond to some things differently than another person would. And so this is why I said you've got to start doing some things proactively so that you can keep yourself saner, as Ms. Denise has said.
You make a really good point, and that is what sometimes with all of us, especially right now, this is a super stressful time.
It is.
And there's a lot of anger to be had.
Yes.
And anger rests in the bosom of the fool, the Bible said.
Yep.
People are angry about something and they're angry about nothing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need a little help, something to take the edge so that you can back up and really see. And you know, and you cannot hear that when a person suggests that you might need a little help. They're not saying that you're certifiable,
right,
or you should be carted away, you know, or you should be put in a padded room. Just suggesting that, look, this might be beneficial to all of us. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for coming in, sir.
I was admiring how Miss Groovy One said, "Want more of this juicy stuff?" And then look who came in.
The big juice. Juice is loose. How are you, sir?
His time, that segue was just like she introduced.
Yeah, sure enough. Thank you for coming in, Juice. Appreciate you, sir. So, guys, thank you, whoever is giving us all these beautiful hearts over here on the Periscoposphere. You guys rock. Thank you so much. You're beautiful. MarriageMakes3.com, free 15 minutes with pastors on one issue. But if you need more time, turn your 15 minutes into 45 minutes before, during, and after. I do. Find us at bit.ly/mm3links. Thank you, Kim Hargrove, Mrs. Hargrove, for dropping that information there in the chat. Do what she says, okay? Ms. Denise says sometimes you got to do a Tina Turner. She left Ike with everything but his name. Yes. And sometimes that is warranted. It depends. And so number 10, y'all go on to throw the 10s up there while we go into number 10. This is the last thing that we want to say about this before we get on down tonight. Number 10 is know when to go.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's good.
You got to know when to go. That's number 10. Let's see. Shonda, she said you can't be together if you end up in a jail cell. Amen. Amen.
Or in the cemetery.
Exactly. Yes.
It's one of those examples that we used when we started this whole
this
series.
Session.
It was an example of the ultimate or the worst kind of narcissistic person. So that's a really good point.
Yes. Number 10, you've got to know when to go. If this person is calling you names, they're patronizing you, especially in front of other people, because one thing that they will do is they will seem like they are so beautiful, wonderful, gentle, kind person around everybody else. But with you is when the mask comes off. You see the monster behind the mask. You get to see all of that. You get to be the one that deals with the accusations. You're the one that deals with the projections. You're the one that deals with all of this negative stuff. And their most positive self is put out to the public. So every other person. So what happens is other people that have not ever seen this, they think that you're the one that's a little cuckoo.
Or the big bad witch.
You're the one that's messed up. You're the one that has caused all of this drama. And you have to know that you have to know when to go. Because if these things are happening, if they're controlling you or trying to manipulate you, if there's physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, and isolation, and it's time for you to go. I don't know where you're going. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Number 10, you have to know when to go. Shirley says, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Yes, ma'am. Know when to walk away and know when to run. Yes. Thank you, Ms. Groovy One, that she put that there for us. We have a domestic abuse hotline, not us personally, but there is one that's national. And there's the number. It's 1-800-799-SAVE. 1-800-799-7223. 1-800-799-SAFE. And that is the number that you need to be calling if you find yourself in the position where this person has become volatile, they become violent, and they become abusive, that you have to make a plan so that you can go. Okay? You got to know when to go. Make a new plan, Stan. Don't need to be called, Roy, but set yourself free. Amen.
Wasn't that song? I remember Paul Simon doing that.
I was talking
That was
about
Little
Tina.
Richard.
And I was talking about Tina.
Okay.
Tina was like, I'm up out of here. I knew she was crazy when she looked at me.
Oh my goodness.
Amen.
He's got the eyes.
He does. Okay. Denise Verdun said, do you all have a prayer line? We do not, but we're planning on having a prayer, a little 5-day thing. We've talking about it. We've made a post about it in the Love Seat. We're going to be doing a short, probably 3 to 5 day teaching along with some corporate prayer. Yes. I'm not sure what platform. I'm thinking it's going to be on the conference call, the free conference call where we can see each other so that we can talk and hear the teaching and absolutely go through. It carries a $10 requested donation because it's work, okay? But we wanted to do that. I think this is going to be something that helps us. That's a part of what you get when you are part of Marriage Makes 3, when you have come into the Love Seat as a client, that is a part of what you get. So if you're a client, you are absolutely in there like swimwear for the free 99. Amen. And you all will know who you are because you will get a invitation by email. Let's see, Sister Shirley, she says, please don't stay in danger. Amen.
Good word.
Fantasia said it best. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Free yourself. Wow. All right. So, guys, thank you so much. Please let us know. Has this been helpful? Have this been insightful? Have you learned anything new during this particular broadcast? But we want to make sure that when we do come, that we're giving you some information, some knowledge, some understanding of some things so that you can go along in this journey called life with your relationships. We want to be here for you. We've been doing it, but we want to make sure that what we do is and insightful and impactful for you. So let us know in the chat. While you all are doing that, we want to remind you that we have on sale, absolutely blessed as always. Thank you so much. On sale right now, we have the Dating to Destiny kit. It's for the singles. If you're ready to get out here into these dating and relationship streets, it's half off right now. You can find it at bit.ly/MM3LINKS. What you're going to get, let me tell you, let me put this off in here so that y'all can see it. You are going to get the curriculum, all right? You're going to get the Dating to Destiny kit, which is the curriculum as a video curriculum. You're going to get the workbook. And you're also going to have a 25-minute Catch My Mate session with Pastor G and myself. We do it just like how you see us here. This is how that is going to get done. We want you to be a part, and we really believe this. I said 50% off. When our website developer said, well, this is what we should put on sale, we were like, well, how much? And she said $27. I'm like, well, all right. but it's more than worth it. Okay.
That's right.
So please, ma'am, please, sir, if you have not yet gone over and checked it out, you know someone that is in the process of talking about dating, then you need to find them and let them know that Dating to Destiny kit is available to them. We want them to get it. And don't forget the part that you can get for free is, let's see, you can just go over to the freebie section, just like so, and you will find Dateology, which is absolutely for the free 99. And Dateology is going to give you the 10 rights and responsibilities of dating for your potential mate, for your chemistry, compatibility, and your commitment. When I say that you need to know before you go, that's what we're talking about, because we definitely need to have ourselves armed and ready when we're going out on that date. All right. So Kim is letting us know that the Dating to Destiny kit, you can find it at bit.ly/MM3LINKS. Hey, Brother Jordan, how are you, man of God? Thank you for joining us tonight. We're about to get on down, but we just want to make sure that you all know that that was available. She said, don't forget St. Clair's. Yes, go on over to St. Clair's, st-clairs.com. You'll be able to find some beautiful, y'all know my husband just be making up some stuff, right? And this is, I love this because this is the country, my country colors back home. Red, white, and black is our flag for Trinidad and Tobago. And these are, I think these are second or third, they're probably third generation earrings. He started making earrings at the beginning that were very, dainty and small. And then he came into the place where he was making them a little bit bigger. And then we started getting hoops. Honey, I started getting some hoops. And you can't tell me nothing now. So please go on over and find something that is going to bless your life. Graduation is gone. People have already come to 2020, hadn't been able to go to a prom and things of that nature. Don't forget that person that you love that you hadn't done anything for because we didn't get to go to a space. And so we want you to be able to find something for them. Okay. Juice says $27. That's a deal. Yes. 25 minutes with us. And you get curriculum and workbook for $27. I was like, hold up. That's 25 minutes of our time. And sitting, but hey, it is what it is. You all are a family, and we want to put something on sale so that while we're going through this series, that you have something that you can go back to and deal with some of the issues. Thank you, Miss Groovy One, for putting that again in the chat. Thank you. She said they're beautiful. I love them. Love these earrings. Oh, and I guess I can go ahead and show you this while we're sitting here, not leaving like we're supposed to. This is another beautiful piece. And I don't even know if this one is on the site yet, but absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful pieces, all of them handmade, all of them one of a kind with you in mind. Pastor G is amazing. And most of all of our sets come alongside with their own earrings. So you're not having to go out and find something to match it. Gorgeous, beautiful pieces, beautiful jewelry, beautiful handiwork for someone that has never taken a class or gone to learn about this in a school or seminar or anything. He just one day decided he was going to make something for me, and the next thing you know, I had too much jewelry. So we went ahead and got it together and opened up St. Clair's, st-clairs.com. The link is there in the bio. Listen, guys, we want to let you all know that we appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for those that come in, that share. Thank you for those that help us describe. Ms. Groovy One, Deirdre, Ms. Shirley, whomever you are in the atmosphere. Thank you for being a part of Marriage Makes Three. And thank you for sharing with other people that you know that are dealing with issues, because sometimes I'm just totally blown away with people that know that we're here and they're like, oh, let me tell you about them. You go and see them, that they had never heard of us before. Some of you, we know you only because someone referred you to us. And so we are thankful. We're grateful. So everybody, thank you again for hanging out with us tonight. We're tired now, but it's a but it's a good tire. I love
All
it.
right.
So,
And
go
we
ahead.
absolutely enjoy our time with you. And we value our relationship with you. Thank you for your many comments and for
You're
helping
welcome.
us to get the word out. You all are absolutely, you rock.
You do.
You rock. And we love you more than you know.
Amen.
We love you more than you know. And we appreciate you. We always remind you at the close of our broadcast, and don't forget, tomorrow night.
Oh,
And what
that's
time,
right.
Brittany?
I don't know
Tomorrow
what
night,
time.
guys, is Friday night.
Yes.
And Friday night, we're going to be playing a game.
Yes.
We're playing a game, and you have the potential to be a winner.
Yes.
We're going to be at what? At
We're going to be
Marriage
on
Makes Three
Instagram. Yes,
on
only on
IG,
Instagram
at
because
Marriage Makes Three on IG.
because the time lapse
Delay.
is so bad, but on Instagram it just kind of rolls. So we're going to try it on Instagram this Friday night. We're going to make sure we drop it in the love seat so that you all remember. So meet us at Marriage Makes Three on the Instagram. Inventory word for me. Thank you, Miss Groovy One. Appreciate you, darling. I'm coming to church this Sunday. Come on, Juice.
Come on, Juice.
Yes, sir.
Always welcome.
Yes, sir.
Barbara said, love,
Oh,
hugs, prayers, and smiles from me to you.
oh,
Always,
thank
Barbara.
you.
Love
Love
you
you.
for that. Wow.
Appreciate you, sweetheart.
Shirley, love you.
You never know what
Al,
someone is
hugs.
going through. That's right. Share the broadcast because I believe it's going to help somebody to get past where they are. All right.
We can't help everybody.
But we can help those
we
that
can help
God puts in
somebody.
our way. Amen. All right, you guys, like we always say here before the end of our broadcast, is that
God loves you.
He does.
We love you.
We do.
That ain't a thing you can do about it up in here. Y'all have a good night. See you tomorrow night.
All right. Lord bless y'all. Keep you. Make his face to shine upon you and give you his peace. I was going to say tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Friday, but tomorrow is the third. Is it the third Friday? It's the third Friday. So we'll be back. Yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Love you guys.